Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be a video that I've wanted to do for quite a while now. Unfortunately, it's not really the way that I would love to do it. It's a bit disheartening. Well, it's very disheartening, honestly, to have to do this video. But mainly in this video, I'm going to be talking about something that I talked about a little bit on this channel, but not really at length before. And that really is my experience with a social strategy game that I've been playing in for about 6 to 7 months now, known as Sequester. This is a game that has been going on for a while now. I've been very involved with it. You know, there's reasons why I wasn't that active in the summer. I'm going to get into all of that. But the main reason why I'm doing this now, because before it was going to be why I love Sequester, all that kind of stuff, is because unfortunately Sequester, went through some stuff that I don't want to talk about in this video. I talked about it on Twitter. I feel like keeping it solely based on what I want to talk about, I'm not going to get into much of what happened, but let's just say there were some people that definitely were violated. There were some people that felt like they were not given the justice that they were deserved. Some misdemeanors happened, and Sequester, meaning, Audrey who runs it, and Prod, did not handle it in the manner that they would have wanted to conduct. And I think because of that, it sparked a bit of an outrage, definitely. But I think they also realized that, what they did not handle in the correct way. And unfortunately, because of that, Sequester is taking a break for a little bit. I don't think it's done. I really don't think it's done. But it is definitely taking a bit of a break. And so I figured now would finally be the perfect time to do this video. Because like I said, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. But I'm just going to get into really more about my history with Sequester and what it really means to me, because I think it means a lot more than y'all really do understand. I don't think I can, I don't think a lot of you get just how much this game means to me, just how much the community means to me in that way, and I'm just going to get into it right now. So when I initially started watching Sequester, it was the RHAP game because, I followed them for a while for, Big Brother content and things like that. And one day Brent said that, him and Melissa were playing this game. I flipped it on once, very confused as to what was going on. I started playing every single stream at once. It was unwatchable, and then I stupidly realized, oh, you have to toggle it on and off in order to watch it, and very quickly I was just so sucked into the gameplay. It's unlike most games that you see. Sequester is an ever-changing game pretty much every round. There's a different twist, there's different ways to play it, there's different things that are thrown at you, there's different advantages that you can get, and that was something that just really sucked me in. But it was one of those things where even at that moment, I didn't realize just how involved I would be. I knew in some capacity I wanted to be involved. I thought in the back of my head, this would be fun to play. But I never really thought that I would get into it as much as I really did. So I applied for 411 the following Saturday, and not thinking that I would get in, and almost immediately I got a response, and that was insane to me. I couldn't believe that I actually had a response to play in a mini, and to be frankly honest, I don't think I played very well in that mini. I worked with the same 2 to 3 people the whole game. I was only in the game for 6 rounds, and then I was done, and it was definitely not my finest hour at all, but it was something that I enjoyed. I, again, didn't really understand a lot of what the game was about, but I knew that it was something special. I knew that it was something that I would, not forget. And then after that point, I started to get what's known as, the Sequester bug, so to speak, where you just have that urge to play it again. And, I did. I applied for 515, got into 515, didn't do too well in that, but I kept playing. I kept trying to play because I wanted to be able to show my full potential, and it wasn't really till July, though. That's when it really hit me that this was something different for me because I was approaching it initially as a fan. You can look back at my tweets. I approached it like it was Big Brother or Survivor. I was very harsh towards a lot of the players. I gave them some very harsh criticism. I did not hold back. People told me about it. And then I would say around June, I started to realize, wait, I can't really do that anymore, considering that these people, it's not like Survivor or Big Brother. These people are going to read your tweets. These people are going to respond to everything that you say. So I can't just, like, you know, act like they're not going to see it. So that very quickly shifted things. And that was, I think, the beginning of a real shift for me. But then I was asked to play an All-Stars game, which was insane to me. I would have never expected that I would have ended up in an All-Stars game, especially because my placements were really not good at all. And I just didn't feel like I really did anything that special within the game. But regardless, I played it, and that was really the moment where I realized just how special this game was to me, how important this game was to me, to be able to play in this game with so many people that I've watched over the past few months, and to have that opportunity and be considered on even somewhat on their level is something that I still can't get over, is something that is absolutely insane to me. And pretty much from there, that's when I really started to realize just how important the community was. I mean, from there, I talked to people a lot more. I was on Zoom calls with people for sometimes like 12 hours a night. I mean, it became something that was really special to me. The community, what it stood for, the game itself, the different ways you could play the game. I would stay up for hours just talking about different strategies with people. It was unlike anything that I've seen before, and that's what really drew me into the community, is just the different people that were there, the different perspectives that we had on things, and that was something that I really did appreciate overall. And from that, I've gained a lot of connections. I've gained a lot of friendships, and that's why I wasn't as active doing really anything else, because it did get addicting. It did become something that I kind of became obsessed with. And I just didn't really want to do, like, anything else. I focused solely on Sequester. I would go onto Zoom calls and just talk to people all day, and then I would watch Sequester, and then I would go to bed, and then I would watch Sequester again, especially once they changed to, like, the private minis being every day. You know, there was barely a day that I missed, especially in July and August. There was barely a mini that I missed. I was so into it, and it just was something that, again, was a life-changing experience for me. I ended up playing in After Shadows, like, 6 more minis after that. I played 11 altogether, which, again, is, I never would have expected for that to happen. Never in my life would I have expected that. But the fact that not only did I play in these minis, but actually had a lasting impact. One of these games I was first boot for, and yet there was, like, a term coined after me just because of the fact that I was tech-evac, and they referred to it as Falk. And then there was a mini where I ended up getting really drunk, and, you know, people said it was like the highlight of the whole mini, and that became a whole thing. Or there was a mini where I had a really bad microphone, and people talked about that. So no matter what I did, like, people were talking about me, which is not something that I was used to. I just didn't feel like I was leaving that much of an impact, but I very much was. And very quickly, I was just seen as, like, this really big figure within the community, which is not something that I ever looked at myself as. I'm not someone that puts myself on, like, this pedestal, but people were doing it, and I was like, wow, this is not something that I'm used to. You know, people knew me by name. People would join Zoom calls just because I invited them to it, and they were excited to talk to me, and they were freaking out that I was there, and it was just not something that I ever could have anticipated. And things like that. And, you know, I got into, like, I moderated games and things like that. Like, I became very active within the community. But And I even made it like my sole mission after a while to try to like get people as connected as I was. I would, send them like Zoom links and I would try to get them into chats and get ingratiated within the community because they weren't as connected as they wanted to be. And I've been very successful at that. So there's been a lot of stuff that I've done that goes so far beyond game for me, that goes so far beyond just a social strategy game, that it really did take up a lot of my life, but I don't really take any of it for granted. I don't really regret any of what I did there because of how much good was truly done in those moments. Again, taking the focus off myself, I think that's what's so great about Sequester, is that it's able to make people that are ordinary feel extraordinary, feel like there is something, make them feel like there is something special about them, which there is. There's something special about all these people that play it. There's so many different personalities that came from it. There's so many different ways to play this game, and there's just so many people that have come from it that I do look at as these, that people do look at as celebrities. People do look at as these huge names, and it's just crazy to think about. You watch Survivor or you watch Big Brother, and to be compared to a game player like that. Not saying I was, but like there are people that have been compared to Big Brother players or Survivor players. It's just incredible. It's incredible what Audrey has designed, and it's just something that you don't really get really anywhere else. And even someone like me who doesn't watch a lot of reality TV, I really only watch Big Brother, I could tell it was something special. I could tell that it was something special, and that it was something that we were never going to take for granted, and I certainly will never take for granted, for sure. The point is, Sequester is something that I think all of us should not take for granted. The whole point of it initially is that it was meant to be, a stress-free game. Well, I mean, it's stressful, but what I mean by that, it's supposed to be a distraction from the stresses of the world with the pandemic, with the election, all that kind of stuff, and just focused on playing a really good social strategy game, and I think that's what Sequester did best. And if I really had to get into the more negative stuff, I really think it's just one of those things where it very quickly evolved from being this small passion project to a full-on business, which has like over 2,000 people in the community. And I think that was just like not something that they knew how to take on. But I can't necessarily blame them for that either, because of how much it did evolve, how much they quickly had to put things in play, and probably didn't have as much of a framework. And I don't want to come down on Audrey for this, because she is working really hard. The money that she's made, the things that she's doing, it's absolutely insane. The dedication that she has in this game is just on another level. It's what matters the most to her over everything, and it's just something that has always stuck out to me when it comes to Sequester. It's just the passion that everyone has, and it's, again, one of those communities that for a while I thought was just so welcoming. Everyone was just so nice, so welcoming. They were accepting of pretty much everyone. They welcomed any sort of perspective. And I'm not saying that we don't now, but I do think it's gotten to a point where this was the right decision. I do think this was the right decision, because after a while, playing these minis for so long, and you have so many different people playing them, it definitely was getting to a point where things were getting a little bit rough. And considering the situation that just came up, which, again, if you go into my Twitter more, it involves some really icky shit that I don't necessarily want to talk about. But again, there was a lot of abuse and things like that that were going on to some of the women within the community, and they didn't feel they were really being heard as much. And so just because of that whole situation, I do think this was absolutely the right call to make, because I do think Sequester, as great of a game as it is, and as great of the people that run it, they need to be able to evolve. There's been different stages of the game. One time it was a week long, then it ended up being like, a live version, and now we have the mini version. And while the mini version initially, again, was just supposed to be something that was fun, it evolved into something so much more than that. even for me, it evolved into something so much more than that. I did really well in a game, Fans versus Favorites. I got like 7th in that. And for the next like 3 weeks, I just became fixated on the idea of winning a game. That was something that was so important to me. And I did not win the next game I played, but one of my closest friends did. So like I was happy for her. I casted my Jerry vote for her, and so that was great. But like it's something that did very much consume me. It was something that I thought about pretty much daily. All I talked about was Sequester, and it did make me kind of lose focus of the things I used to do, watching movies, talking to other people that aren't my Sequester friends. It definitely did do that, and I'm not blaming Sequester for that. I think everything that Sequester did, it was the absolute highlight of such a stressful time within the world. 2020 has just been so consistently awful, and Sequester has been like that light at the end of the tunnel that can help you escape from just all of the shit that's been going on. And that was something that I am eternally grateful for, is that there was something like this around. But again, as months go on, things get a bit less fun. Things get a bit less, they became a lot more serious. And especially with this issue, it is definitely the right move to put it on a hold for now. But again, at the end of the day, what this gave me, that's really what I'm going to stick with. The relationships that I've made are not going to go away. I've made some really great friends in this community that I talk to every single night about things that are way beyond the game, and I'm very grateful that that happened. I'm very grateful that I was able to make these friendships that, again, I think are very much long-lasting. I'm very happy that I was able to be involved in this community that has so many different perspectives. There were so many things that even I didn't think about. For example, my brief Big Brother podcast that I did, when I had different people on there, the reason why I chose the people that I did is because they offered different perspectives to the show that I didn't really think about. And it made me look at the show differently. It made me look at everything differently. And that's when you know you're a part of something special. That's when you know what you're doing it for a good reason. And again, that's something that I will absolutely never regret. There were so many good conversations I've had with people. And so, again, yes, the games are going away, but the community and the friendships, I really hope don't, because that's, at the end of the day, what is most important to me, is what I was able to get from all of this. And again, I know a lot of this video just consists of me rambling, but trust me when I say I just really love this game a lot. I love the community a lot. I love what inhabits it. And yes, things did get dicey towards the end, and yes, there were statements made that I don't love, and there were things that happened in the community that were covered up and should not have been covered up, but aside from that, like, there's a lot that I got out of this community. There's a lot that I've gotten from these people that I've become so close with, and it's something that I absolutely will never forget. I never will take it for granted, and again, I just can't be happier with the way all of that turned out. I guess to end things off, it's sad to come to this point, because it's something I did look forward to every single week, is watching the minis, especially when like my friends would play in them and root for them and things like that. But there'll be other games, there'll be other things to get excited for. And so, while I'm upset, I'm not as upset as some people, because I do think there is going to be something else out there. I do think there are going to be things to tide us over, and I do think eventually Sequester is going to come back. I think that this is just a temporary break. I really do. I think this is just an extended break that they need so they can resolve everything, and then they will be back once they have fully, figured everything out. And that's fine. Some people just need time to do that, and I think we need to be cognizant of that and just give them the time they need to work things out. And hopefully once they do, we can just go back to the way things were. And I hope that is the case, because I enjoyed the way things were. I enjoyed what was going on, but there were some cracks in the foundation, and I hope that they do, work those cracks out, because there is still a lot to improve upon, and I'm excited to see what they really do. But I guess to leave things on a really positive note, I wanted to just end this video telling you guys how much I appreciate this community, how much I appreciate what I've gotten out of it, and I don't think there's any other way for me to do that just to show how much fun I had than doing something that I've wanted to do for a while. So once I was done with Draft Sequester 3, which is my last game for a while, I told myself that I was going to do a compilation of all my intros, and I never did, but now that we're in this time, I think now is definitely the right time to do it. So please enjoy all of the intros that I did for Sequester, and hopefully this can give you an idea of just how much all of this meant to me. But until then, guys, that's really it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys in my next video. We'll see you guys for that. And please enjoy all of my intros. Okay, bye. What is up, Sequester? My name's Kevin. I am 21 years old and currently living in New Jersey. Random fun fact about me. Oh, well, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm a pretty big avid cinephile. And for those who aren't as well-versed, that of course means, you know, I love a lot of movies and things like that. However, in addition to that, I've also had a YouTube channel for about 8 years or so, shameless plug, in which I've covered many various shows and movies, including the very show that this one is based upon. So you all better be ready because I am absolutely coming for you. Ha 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 ha. What is up, Sequester? I am Kevin. I am 21 years old and currently living in New Jersey. A fun fact about me, and this is probably going to shock and outrage all of you, but I really don't like donuts. I know, very, very shocking, very, very upsetting for sure, very tragic. I don't know, I've tried them many times, and I just can't seem to get into them, you know? They taste like nothing to me, and not a fan, unfortunately, just not a fan at all. However, what I am a fan of is Sequester, but not just any Sequester, the kind of Sequester games that are hard, that are fast, that have ruthless game players filled with many game sharks, such as myself. I plan to play hard, I plan to play fast, I plan to do some really big things. I plan to find those LOSs, make those alliances that I need to, and I plan to do all this with a little help from my friends here, help kicking off this supersized weekend in the best way possible. What is up, Sequester Party people? I'm Kevin, I'm 21 years old and still living in New Jersey, and guys, I am so excited to be part of the first ever Sequester prom, which is basically another All-Stars, which I mean, I'd like to think that I'm qualified for. I don't know if I actually am, but I'd certainly like to think that I am. Either way, I am very excited to see how this night is going to turn out, even though, fun fact, I actually didn't go to my prom, so you know, this kind of makes up for that overall. I'm really excited to hopefully make up for that here. Look, I know this. There will be a prom king, there will be a court jester, and someone's definitely going to spike the punch bowl. And which one of those I will be, that is up to you. That is up for you to see, and that is up for me to see as well, because I generally don't know which one I'm going to be. But I do know this. Regardless of what I end up doing in this game and what I end up being, I can say right now that similar to prom, this will absolutely be a night to remember. Yeah, it may slow down your internet, and it may glitch up a bit, but trust me, in the end, it'll all be worth it. Okay, yes, YouTube. All right, we'll be in touch. Take care. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. I was having a call for Falk merchandise. You know, we are getting things up and running. There was a bit of an embezzlement scandal, but we're moving past it. It's water under the bridge. You guys know I'm Kevin, 21 years old, still, of course, living in New Jersey. And I'm very excited to play this very highly mysterious game, Sequester Shadows, whatever that really entails. I guess we will see throughout the night. But I do know that it is an All-Stars game, which I don't know how much I do qualify for, especially considering the 3 times I've played. I've been dragged out, I've played with 3 live players, and I just existed in Sequester Prom. I barely even really played that one at all. Point is, luck has really not been on my side, but it will not at all overshadow the game that I play this time around. What's up, guys? I'm Kevin, 21 years old, and of course repping New Jersey, and proudly repping New Jersey, may I say. Now, Well, I don't have any fun facts about myself personally with New Jersey. I have a few fun facts about New Jersey itself and why it really just is the best out of any other state that is being represented in this here tri-state mini. So New Jersey has the most diners in the world. It's got the most shopping malls in the world, and we have Danny DeVito. So, you know, what more could you really ask for? I mean, come on. We also may just have this sandwich that's really good that everyone else likes, and it's definitely called a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese, and I really don't want to hear otherwise. And I feel like that's just enough to prove why New Jersey is truly the best. Look, there's New Jersey, and then there's everyone else, and that's just facts. What's up, everyone? I'm Kevin. I'm 21 years old and, of course, living in New Jersey, but you guys already knew that. Look, let me just cut to the chase. I am here to represent First Boot, but not the first boot that I would love to represent. That, of course, being Sequester Prom, which I was quite literally falked out of the game.
I was just worried because if you look at Kevin's Wi-Fi, like I think that's the thing.
That might happen.
Can we ask a brutal question, Kevin?
I mean, sure.
Like, how long are you going to be with us?
I mean, I hope that I'm here for a while.
Kevin, you have been eliminated from the dance floor. Kevin, please go to the jury room immediately.
Oh, yeah, I don't like to remember that either. I mean, despite the fact that I basically coined that term myself, you know, it's not really something that I love to remember. Either way, let's just get to it. First boot here. I'm very excited for this game for sure. I think there's a lot of people in here that have the potential to do well. You know, excited to see how everyone does play, of course. And look, we may all be first boots here, but look, in terms of this game and Sequester, we are just getting started.
You want to know who I am? You want to know? Well, I just have one question. Why the fuck
were you saying my name? Yes, guys, hello. It is me, Kevin Falk, and I am the whatever inanimate object that I am in this mini. That was in fact me. I'm very honored to be playing this undercover game. Thank you to Kim, to Chris, Justin. You guys really pulled it off here. Love what you're doing. It's such a incredible and unique concept that really is unlike any other mini that we've had, and just everything you guys have been doing is amazing. I'm very happy that I took part in it, and very happy for my charity as well, Campaign Zero, which, you know, there's a lot of racial injustices and things like that going on in the world, so very important that we help it out for sure. Thanks to everyone. Loved being here, and look forward to whoever else is playing this game. What is up, everyone? My name is Kevin. I am 22 years old and currently living in New Jersey, and very happy to be in this astrological warfare mini and proudly repping the Leo sun sign, which is something that I've been told I am throughout my entire life. People have said that it is the obvious sign for me, but what does it really mean to be a Leo, especially in a game like Sequester? Well, Leos are generally very self-confident people. I myself would like to believe that I very much am, at least when I am of sound mind, for sure. Leos are generous and kind-hearted, which definitely I fit that qualification for. But most importantly, Leos are very fiery and passionate people, which I know may sound shocking, but I am a very, very passionate person with a big personality and a true love for the game, a true love for everything that I do. And so with these qualities in mind, there's really no reason why I shouldn't do well tonight, why I shouldn't kill it in this mini. I mean, it's already Leo season anyway, so what if we got to lose? Alright, another day of Sequester content. Alright, let me get on the Zoom link, see what minis tonight, and go about it that way. Wait, what's that? They want me to play in Draft Sequester 2? What? No, there's no way. There's no way. This has to be a mistake. After all, why would I be in something like that? I'm not even that good at drafting. I'm not that good at drafting. I'm not that good at drafting. I'm not that good at drafting. Not that good at drafting. I'm not that good at drafting. Not that good at drafting. I'm just not that good at drafting. Oh, shit. Okay. I guess I actually am not that bad after all. Alright. Let's play this game. Oh, hello. My name is Kevin Falk, and yes, I am indeed a favorite. I know, it's very, very shocking for sure. However, considering this is a fans versus favorites mini, I thought that I would take the time to really just offer my expertise to the fans here, because y'all are already pretty great, but you're probably wondering, how can you become a favorite tonight like us? What can you do to get to that status? And, you know, I have a few tips that might just be a little bit helpful for you overall. Step 1. Have really laggy internets and make it so bad that there literally is a term named after your last name. Step 2. Get really drunk off Angry Orchard and start screaming and say a bunch of stuff. You'll definitely thank me for that later. Step 3 is to only make Jury as a farm animal. A farm animal! And step 4, the most important of them all, get a video leaked of yourself, maybe at 14, a video that you have kept public because you are a firm believer in the idea of, you know, growth and showing your younger self, and have that video shown to a bunch of people. Perhaps it's this one. And one day, I promise you, you may just find yourself in a situation where 4 grown men are twerking to that exact video in an effort to keep themselves safe off the block. Alright, here we are again, another day of waiting till the very last second to think of an idea for a mini intro. What to do. See, here's the thing, I could do anything for this intro, but I know that in my heart I'm not gonna top the last one. I already expressed how I'm not that good at drafting. Everyone already knows that, so what do I do for this one? Well, I could potentially write some kind of song about how, like, I'm just an internet meme, and how people shouldn't see me as this big threat, but that doesn't make sense now because of what just happened in my last game. So I can't do that. I could talk about, I don't know, I could write some kind of poem about it, but I'm not that creative these days. I don't know, what's going on with drafting? Let's look that up. There's gotta be something in there that I could do something for. I don't know. Come on, just think of something, anything. There has to be something that I haven't done yet for this, come on. You know what, why don't I just sit here, eat something, and just kind of think about what to do, you know? I'll just figure it out that way. There's something that I'm sure will eventually pop into my head. Hello? Renee? What's that? Draft Sequester 3? Oh, that's due today. Okay, yes, I'm on my way.